B-Jump Sunset World.
Sushi,
Sumo, Tokushima!
この番組は地域密着型のボランティア活動を徳島で行っている国際ワークキャンプのメンバーがお届けする30分です。
This 30 minutes broadcast is hosted by volunteer members who come from abroad to help the community of Tokushima. Hello and good evening everybody. We're your hosts for this evening. Welcome to B-FM Daigaku Radio. My name is Mitchell and I am from Australia.Hi,
I'm Rina. I'm from Japan, living in Tokushima.
This radio program, Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima, is live on FM Bizan. This 30-minute broadcast is hosted by volunteer members who come from abroad to help the community of Tokushima. Popular images of Japan, Sushi and Sumo, yes, but we would like people from all around the world to not only know these images, but more things about Japan. They share the news from Japan and information about Tokushima.A place that welcomes foreigners from all over the world. No one knows what language will be spoken or what kind of topics they will bring up. Don't miss it.
Sushi,
Sumo, Tokushima! Okay guys, I don't know about you, but for myself, after this very busy and cold time of Christmas and New Year,I think I've put on about probably 5 kilos. So I've actually already signed up for the gym. You might see me around. You might see, a bit of a belly from a foreigner. That's actually myself. So I just want to find out about everybody's experience for Christmas, because for me it was my first time in Tokushima for Christmas. It was actually a lot colder than I expected, which also adds to eating more food to keep warm. And before, actually last year, I was back home in Australia. And the year before that, actually, I was working in Japan, in Nagano. So that time of year was snowing a lot. There was a lot of foreigners around to go skiing, go snowboarding in the mountains, have a good time, enjoy the onsen. So for me, it was my first time actually in Tokushima. And with my co-host tonight is Rina, and I just want to kind of find out about her experience, her time for Christmas and what it means for her. As there's some differences in culture and food and traditions, and especially the climate, because for those of you who are from the southern hemisphere know that Christmas is very hot. So Christmas image is going to the beach and wearing like thongs and sandals and a singlet, not 5 layers of clothes and a beanie. So so Rina, how was your Christmas? What did you do for Christmas? Did you spend it with family or?
Yeah, I don't know if you really know about Christmas in Japan. It's more about spending time with your sometimes like girlfriends, boyfriends, or friends more than spending time with your family.
Okay, right.
But I spent my time with my family actually.
Cool, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And do you know in Tokushima for the Christmas, Santa Clauses are coming from the river.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Do they live on the river all year round and just pop up at Christmas?
They come.
They obviously come from the North Pole. Okay. And they come by submarine or something down to Tokushima. Right, okay.
Yeah, they hop on the boat and they come from the river to give people presents.
Wow, okay.
Does it sound really
That's
nice,
really fun.
right?
Yeah. I wish I was there for that. Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah.
I unfortunately I didn't really get a present from the Santa Claus.
Okay.
But I saw so many people along the river waiting for the Santa Clauses.
Wow, okay. Right, okay. Sounds like you've been a bad girl maybe, not getting any presents for Christmas.
Maybe
I don't know
that's
what
why
you did.
I didn't get the present.
You've got to be a bit nicer this year.
Yeah, I am sad.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Right, so you just, is it a choice that you made to be with your family, or is it just something that just happens? Like a lot of people who've there.
I don't know, it just happened. I mean, I wanted to spend time with people I really, care about.
Cool. That's
I
good.
think it's
That's the
same
most
as-
important thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
definitely. It's the most important thing. Yeah. Yeah, for Christmas, us is just being with the people that maybe we don't see all year, or maybe we see people often, but they're the people we want to be with for Christmas. So
Yeah,
that's kind of our
that
image
sounds
of
nice.
Christmas. Yeah, we travel like a long way, domestically, or if some people are overseas, they would be living, like for example, living in Japan, their family's in Australia. They might make the special time if they get holidays to go back to Australia just to be with family for
Yeah.
2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, to be there for Christmas and then New Year's, and then go back to work after New Year's. So yeah, so that's definitely something that's very it's a very uniting time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. But I guess the food is the main thing.
Yeah.
that brings a lot of people together. Yeah.
So, could you tell me about Christmas in Australia?
Okay. Yeah. Well, so we celebrate every year as many years as I can remember. All my family, so my close family, and then my extended relatives, we would always arrange to either on Christmas Day, the 25th, is more of a day of opening presents.
Yeah.
So nothing else happens at all except opening presents. So for kids, it's the most exciting day of the year because then Santa's coming on the 24th. Here comes Christmas Eve. We leave some biscuits out. We leave some milk. We leave a carrot for some reason, so he can have a snack if he gets hungry during the night. When he's working hard, he pops down the chimney if we have one.
Sounds nice.
And so then, so we would try and pretend to be asleep until the Christmas morning, the 25th. We would get up, probably the earliest day of the year for most kids to get up before normal time of school. And then you would spend at least maybe 2 hours just opening presents. So
Wow.
you'd have to go and wake your parents up. They would know because they would be quite tired from the night before. The work, putting all the presents under the tree, getting all the food ready, making it look like Santa actually came. And so then you'd pull them out of bed, drag them out of bed to come to the Christmas tree. And they, depending, on your family and how many children, there could be something between like 10 and 20. If you have 3 or 4 kids, there can be 50 presents at the Christmas tree. And then it's funny sometimes because it depends what the presents are. If you're very small ones, or if it's very obvious, sometimes it's a bike. You can't even wrap a whole bike up in wrapping paper, so you can kind of see it's a bicycle. And so then normally the biggest presents, everyone's the same, but for me it's always the biggest presents you open first because they're the most exciting. It could just be a big box with something very small inside, but my mum would do that as a trick. She would put stuff inside of other stuff to make it look bigger or make it look like it's more. And so we would do that for hours, So even breakfast we wouldn't have until like maybe 10, 11 o'clock. So we would just be 3 hours opening presents. You'd take photos, then you start to play with something. If you were young, you get like a puzzle, you'd put the puzzle together. If you got like a toy set like Meccano or Lego, you start building it. And you would just forget about everything else. And then, or you have a ball, you would start kicking the ball around, not in the house, when you go outside. Or for some kids now, I guess it's all about games. So it's about what games they get, PlayStation, Xbox. They get a whole new console. You'd put the console in, you'd set the console up, and then you just forget about everyone else. You just play the game. That's speaking from experience now. So that's always the time that we always love because there's so many presents involved, and then just the fact of just having that time with their family, and we thank them, and then there's the real cool feeling of when you have a present for someone else in your family, and they you can sit there and watch them open it, and it's a really cool feeling of seeing their expression. Oh wow! Because if you ask them during the year or something, or what you want, or you don't ask them exactly, but you get some kind of answer of something they want, and so then you would go out and buy it, or you'd hide it in your room, you'd wrap it up, and then maybe you forget about it. But if you remembered, then you put it under the Christmas tree, and they go, oh wow! And it's a really cool feeling because then it's something they really, really want. But if you don't do that, you just buy a gift card or something simple. So for as long as I can remember, that was always our tradition of the Christmas Day, the 25th. And so then we would have like kind of like a lunch, like a brunch or something. In the afternoon, maybe we'd have our other family come over, depending. So always the morning is just a close family, like mum or brother, sister, whatever. Children, and then so after lunch maybe it'd be the grandparents, or if you have a close uncle or auntie, they would come over in the afternoon. Then you'd have they would give their presents and you give them their presents. So it just becomes, the house becomes a huge mess because you've just got stuff everywhere. You've got toys, you've got boxes, you've got food, and then but you'd play Christmas music, which is actually the most important thing.
Oh, most important.
Most important thing, yeah. So you have like we have albums. I don't know if you have it in Japan, but we have a whole album of just Christmas songs. So you just put it in, and it can be 2 CDs, and it just goes for like 2 hours of just Christmas music, and you just keep playing it, depending. So we would do that. We would get like a really Christmassy kind of feel, the atmosphere, and then when more people come, we would start eating, have the food, we would, sit around, people, because it's quite hot, having a few, drinks or something, maybe wine, but wine would be later in the evening, or, for guys, having a beer or something. So,
sounds nice.
But sitting in air conditioning, we'd never sit and think of heat, we would sit inside in the air conditioning, and that would be probably like one of the laziest days of the year. We would just sit around,
that sounds really nice,
playing, yeah. But for a lot of people, it's a good time to get away because of holidays in Australia. So just around Christmas time.
Do you have a long holiday?
It depends on, what kind of work you're in the company, but at least from 24th Christmas, say if you work maybe 24th or 25th until after New Year. So you go back to work maybe the 3rd or 4th, depending, or after that. That's like most people would try and take that week off because the only time of the year you can just really relax. You can go away for a weekend, maybe you go away for a few days. So you go camping. We love camping. You go to the beach because it's so hot. You just got
the season is opposite.
That's right. It's very hot. So for all my friends, that's something they do. I know every year they'll be in this certain kind of caravan park, which is like you can rent like a cabin. You can rent a tent. You can just make your own tent. You can, sleep in like a nice little cottage or something just by the beach. So you wake up every day, you just go for a swim, you go for a surf, come back, have breakfast. That's a really popular time of year to kind of get out of the city or get out of where you are with your family. Not everyone, you can't bring your whole family along, but, you bring your children, So maybe, just your parents, it'd just be like kind of a family. Just go there, and then you could even invite your other family to come there. So if you say, hey, we're down the beach for the weekend, you can come down to us and we can have the Christmas there, which is even better because it's away from home. So you don't have to clean up and you can just leave a mess and it doesn't matter. So, so at least a week. But some people take more 2 weeks off or something. And then, of course, for schools, it's a long break as well. It's summer holidays. So then chance for them to kind of go somewhere else or visit other relatives if there are other parts of Australia. You can go from Brisbane down to Melbourne, or you go from Sydney up to Brisbane, wherever. So it's a good time, but it's definitely good. The beach is the best time. Nice and early, go for a swim.
I'm wondering if the Santa Claus does he surf?
Oh, the surfing
Christmas?
Santa. Of course. You can see a lot of surfing Santas. If you go to the beach, yes, it's one of the best things to see when you're a kid. You can believe that Santa's real and he comes by surfboard, not reindeer.
That's something Japanese people don't really see.
You can't imagine that. And you see him walking around and he's sweating. You can see all the sweat coming off his face because he's so hot with his big beard and his clothes. So. So I guess it's good for the Santa of Japan though. He can keep nice and warm. There's no problem in his reindeers and whatnot. So so it's a very big difference between
really
Australia
different.
and Japan. So, but then for those who like to get away from the cold, they can go other places. They can get away from the heat. They can go to the places that are cooler. Maybe a little bit, but most of Australia is pretty hot for summer. So So it's a very good time. It's one of the best times of the year. So we always put on a bit of weight. We eat a lot of food. We would have our roasts. Make a lot of salads as well. So, but then the best thing about it is like the homemade stuff. My mum will make, or my grandmother would make, like a Christmas cake, which is like fruit cake with icing, and you write Merry Christmas on it and stuff. So
we eat Christmas cake, but maybe different.
A little bit different, I think it's more like a sponge cake or something. Ours is quite heavy. It's like a brick. It's very.
But it's homemade, so I think it's really nice.
So definitely, hopefully next year you can come to Australia and you can try our Christmas cake.
Sounds really nice. I really want to do. So,
definitely. It's fantastic. All right. So we'd just like to play a little song, and then after the break, we'll come back and talk about our New Year's resolutions and what we did for New Year's.
Sushi.
Sumo. Tokushima! All right, so I hope you enjoyed that song. That was a personal choice of mine. For those of you who know it, you know who sings it. For those who don't, it's Men at Work, and it's called Down Under. So it was my personal choice because it's probably the most popular and known cultural song about Australia. Hope you enjoyed it. So we're just coming into 2018 now. So New Year, it's actually, for those who don't know, it's the year of the dog in the Chinese calendar, which is we follow in Japan as well. So it's woof woof. And maybe the next year about the cats. So I just want to maybe ask Rina maybe about if she's like a dog person or if she's a cat person or what kind of person.
That's
or you're a bears
good
or
question.
horses.
I'm definitely a dog person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Me too. Okay, right. So
Love dogs.
You have dogs at the moment, or
Not right now, but I had 2 dogs before, like tiny, like white dog and also the brown and white color dog.
Okay. Oh, very nice.
They're so cute.
Okay. Wow, very nice. Okay.
And how about you?
Yeah, so I have at home, not with me in Japan. I can't carry them on a board like Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
I might get fined.
It's a long journey.
Yeah, so at home we have 2 dogs. So our youngest, he's a Labrador, so his name is Rocky, like Rocky Balboa,
Rocky.
because
Whoa.
he's so big, strong,
Sounds
and
really
very
strong,
clumsy.
yeah.
He's very strong. He can run very fast. And so he's about 4 years old. So he's very cool. He keeps me fit. And then we
Nice.
have Bella. So Bella at home, she's a little mini fox terrier. So she's the one that chases the possums. I don't know if you know possums in Japan, but they're kind of like a squirrel, like in Australia.
Yep.
So they're nocturnal. So every night, if she's outside, she's chasing them. She's trying to bark at them. She's trying to eat them. She's trying to she's trying to corner them in the shed. But she's very small. Rocky is very big.
Big.
And Rocky, well, we've had him for, let's say, 3.5, nearly 4 years. And he was a puppy. He was the size of, like, my hand
Wow.
when I wasn't there, but when we got him. And Bella was bigger than him. So she was like his mother, my older sister, you could say. And then within a few months, he grew and he just kept growing. And now he's probably 3 times the size of Bella. So now he's in charge. But Bella still feels like she's the one in control. So she's very small, but she kind of orientates him what to do. So it's fun when we go for walks because he's so fast and Bella's so slow.
Yeah.
They know what they want to do.
I guess they get along well.
They get along very
like
well, yeah,
family.
Yeah, they're like brother and sister. They fight sometimes, but it's funny when they do fight because it's like a play fight and they run around the yard trying to chase each other.
Yeah.
And they'll just like a standoff for like a second or two and look at each other and they'll just jump again and and sometimes it's a very close call. They don't run into someone, they don't run into you.
Yeah.
It's it's very funny, but no, they're a good little team to have at home, and I kind of miss them. So but it's funny seeing all the dogs in Japan and the culture of looking after them and stuff, and their little jackets wearing for winter, and
I know
they
they're so cute.
decorate them, and keep them nicely groomed and going for strolls in the pram. So it's quite interesting. I kind of miss our dogs. So coming out of New Year, we ate once again like Christmas. We ate a lot of food, and a lot of it was quite special. I feel from other food throughout the year in Japan. A lot of special food is eaten, like unique cultural food in Japan. Is that right? Like, is it like a tradition every year? You have to eat a certain kind of food on the first day. Is that right?
Yeah.
January?
We eat ozoni,
Ozoni, okay.
which is with soup with mochi rice cake inside.
Okay.
And we have different kind of ozoni all around Japan.
Okay, so it's sweet or it's salty or is it?
I think you think it's not salty, but in some area, like my hometown, Kagawa, has the like sweet ozoni.
Right. Okay.
The soup is salty, but inside we have sticky rice with sweet beans inside.
Sounds very nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Oh, it sounds very good. Yeah.
And how about in Australia?
Not really. Like, we don't have any particular food we have to eat, I don't think, on New Year's. It's more of just like, it's a continuation of Christmas and leftovers, so we just keep eating Christmas cake. Yeah, we can be eating Christmas cake in the next year.
Oh, wow.
Because it lasts for such a long time, because it's preserved with alcohol with the fruits.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I don't really remember having anything particular. My grandpa would sometimes make damper, which is a traditional kind of bread.
Yeah, damper.
Damper, yeah. So it kind of dates back from the days of the bushrangers who would travel around Australia on horseback, and so they would have to survive like maybe weeks out because Australia is so large, and they would leave like the colony or go somewhere looking for someone, or they're kind of just doing their kind of work or gathering like maybe say animals or herding around the area. They would just have very basic ingredients, like they would have to have wheat, maybe they'll carry water with them, the flour, maybe salt. And so damp originated from them making like bread on a campfire. So to make bread you need an oven, you need heat, and so they would do the same thing, except they have like a pan, like a deep cast iron pan, which is you imagine like a saucepan, but it's very thick and it's very heavy. So they had to carry that as well. And so they would start a fire at night. So they would camp somewhere, have a fire. They would cook other food, maybe boil water, maybe a cup of tea. And so then maybe I don't know if they put the first thing on. I think it was the last thing because of the coals. Is it's a slow amber. You would put the damper mixture in like a wrap. What kind of wrap? I can't think of plastic wrap, but you would put it in the fire in this pan, and so it would cook maybe over an hour or two, and it would expand, and so you'd have like this kind of traditional kind of bread, made very basic. It's like bush bread. Think of bush. This is something outside of colonizations, out of the cities and stuff. So my grandfather still makes that sometimes, but he doesn't do it traditionally on the fire. He would put it in the oven. He would just make the same mixture, sometimes half of it with cheese. Put on the top, put cheese and bacon, so half of it's like kind of salty, cheese and bacon, and the other half is just plain, and you'd put a lot of honey or golden syrup. Golden syrup, which is a kind of like sugar cane, kind of like sugar, it's like syrup on the bread with butter, and because it's still hot, it would melt. The butter would melt, so it's really nice. So that was something that's really, really nice, Yeah, so, it's something that's very nice. Yeah, we enjoy
it's really different from
Japanese
also.
Definitely, yeah. So how about, have you ever been anywhere else overseas for New Year's?
New Year's, actually to Australia.
Oh, okay.
I was in Australia.
Oh, you have been for New Year's. Oh, okay. Right, okay. Wow. Yes, it's I've only been maybe 2 times in Japan, and it's quite different going to the temples and doing the prayers and stuff. So, yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Nice. So do you have New Year's resolutions, as we would say in English?
My resolution is to travel around the world as much as I can.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, that's awesome. Wow.
And how about you?
Yeah, I would say the same, but so for me it's around Southeast Asia, but also to kind of keep fit as I'm traveling. I want to travel, but show to people and prove that you can be healthy and fit while traveling. That's my goal for this year. So, so that wraps up our time for this week. So I just want to thank Rina for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, so she's from Kagawa Prefecture next to Tokushima. So I just want to say thank you for that. And just want to wish you a Happy New Year, and to all the listeners out there, to have a Happy New Year, to have a great one, all the best. And don't forget to join us every week for the program. Look forward to seeing you then.
Sushi?
Sumo? Tokushima! This radio program, Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima, is being recorded live here on B-FM FM in Tokushima. I want to say thank you to Rina for joining me today.
Thank you.
And teaching me all about Christmas and New Year's in Japan. So this program is hosted by volunteer members working with non-profit organisations, B-FM Daigaku. We are open to and accepting any forms of support or contributions you have to offer within the local community of Tokushima. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you wish to get involved by emailing radio@bizandaigaku.com. Just to spell that, radio@bizan, bizandaigaku.com. We are accepting requests and messages via email. Please send emails to request@bfm.jp. Once again, that's request@bfm.jp, including the title of the show, Sushi, Sumo, Tokushima, in your messages. You can listen live to this channel, FM Bizan, on the internet with your PC and smartphones. If you're accessing your PC with your PC, go to the website www.bfm.jp. Once again, www.bfm.jp. And you will find a pink banner written Simul Radio, SIMUL Radio, on the left side of the page. If you're accessing with your smartphone or tablet, download the application, listen radio, then select BFM 791 FM Bizan with the area Chugoku Shigoku. If you are listening to this radio in the area has a weak radio wave, don't worry, you can listen to the programs with clear sound through this internet radio system. No one knows what language will be spoken or what kind of topics I'll bring up next Thursday. Don't miss it. See you next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Bye bye.
Bye bye.